Senator Babet.
Thank you. While Australians are closely watching the Reserve Bank's movements on interest rates each and every month, there is another activity of the Reserve Bank that demands our close inspection. In August of 2022, the RBA quietly announced a year-long study of central bank digital currency. This should concern every single Australian who values freedom. Under the guise of improving efficiency, the RBA study of a centralised digital currency is in fact a study on how to better regulate and control the lives of ordinary Australians. It is a study on how the state can replace cash in free citizens' pockets with a digital currency that is completely controlled by the state. Now, although similar to the money that you have in your net bank right now, one of the key differences is that this currency is based off blockchain technology and as such is programmable. A more accurate way of thinking about this currency is a digital voucher or a coupon. The state can decide where you can spend your money, on what you can spend it on, set an expiry date on your money and a whole lot more. The fact that the CCP is excited by the potential for central bank digital currency is a huge hint that this is not something that Australia should be pursuing. So why are we contemplating this? The World Economic Forum, under the leadership of the unelected Bond villain-esque Klaus Schwab, have already declared their intention to provide citizens with a carbon allowance. We need to be given a carbon allowance, you see, in order to save the planet. How convenient. A central bank digital currency is the way in which such an allowance could be enforced upon every person on the planet. We are rapidly coming to a time where the state will replace people's cash, money citizens can spend as they wish, when they wish, on whatever they wish, with a digital currency that can be spent only as a state-controlled central bank will allow. Why would we contemplate a world in which governments could freeze your spending on certain items because you have potentially reached what they deem is a safe carbon allowance for the planet? Why would we contemplate a world in which the state can determine how you may spend and what you may spend on at all? If you don't have the freedom to buy and sell as you wish, then you don't have any freedom at all. It is not beyond the realm of possibility that governments declaring that they must tackle some sort of financial crisis, demand that you spend your money in your account within a certain period of time before it expires. Remember Klaus Schwab promising that in the not-too-distant future we will own nothing and be happy. He wasn't joking. Anyone who doubts that the World Economic Forum intention or the reach of their tentacles into governments around the world have not been paying attention. Klaus Schwab, after all, did say that he has penetrated the cabinets, those are his words. A central bank digital currency would allow the state would allow increasing levels of control over our nation by globalist organisations to program our money to literally disappear if not used within a certain time frame, thus ensuring we are unable to save and therefore unable to build generational wealth. A central bank digital currency, as right now being considered by our very own RBA, is a high-tech way of turning citizens into slaves of the system. Eventually, cash may be banned, and there'll be no buying or selling without the express permission of the government. No true freedom at all. It was a dark day in 1932 when our nation's currency departed the gold standard. This began a process of reducing our trust in our own currency. CBDCs will make it easier for the reserve banks to create and to control money, and it will undermine our trust even further. Now, if my parliamentary colleagues here in this place are serious about representing their electorates, rather than merely waving through a very clear globalist agenda that robs people of their freedoms, then they should and must oppose the idea of a central bank digital currency with every fibre of their being. Some will say that this is a conspiracy theory, but it is not a conspiracy theory. The RBA is very closely examining this right now. Thank you.
Yeah, that's my kind of party. The United Australia Party. So sound the starting gun we've just begun.